Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Small Business Social Sunday. So I'm your host, Hey Me, also known as Yamara, but Hey Me on 1985 on all my social medias. So I have an awesome entrepreneur, boss lady, Marisol, and it's also her birthday. So give her a little birthday shout out too. So she is joining us today on Small Business Social Sunday. I am so excited. When I thought about this idea, she was like one of the first person on the list to reach out to because she has been doing her thing for a minute now. So I am really excited to have her. So Marisol, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you. This is such an honor to be a part of this, even that you're getting started. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's like small or big, but it's such an honor to be a part of this. And yes, let's get right into it.
Yes, thank you. So first and foremost, you have two businesses. You have your vending machine business and you're also a nutritional coach, right? So let's talk about, which one is your first? Let's start with your first baby.
Yeah, my first baby is my nutrition coaching, which is Total ConFITdence. That is my first baby. And then the vending machine came about probably like a year after, which is called MT Vending Services. And yeah, so basically the nutrition coaching is my baby.
Yes. So we're going to touch base on both, but let's talk about what even inspired you to start your Total ConFITdence. Because I am part of your Facebook group and, I saw your posts and stuff. And what drew me to your program specifically was the fact that you allow people to eat what you want. Because my fitness journey is a struggle, but the fact that you were liberating in that aspect, you're I'm not giving y'all meal plans. This is pretty much the cheat sheet. So I was she's talking my language. So what really inspired you to go this route, take it a step further, start your business? What inspired that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So first of all, those that know me, I grew up I'm born and raised in New Brunswick, so I'm repping for them, right now.
Hey.
And
Central Jersey,
exit 9. So growing up, I've always been involved in sports. I've always been active. So just for you guys to get a little a background of myself. And I've literally carried that mentality throughout my college years. I've always stayed active. Obviously, I didn't continue with the sports that I played in. So I just stayed in contact with the gym and just being active. I've done CrossFit for quite some time. I've joined marathons. I've joined so many activities that you could just name. I've probably joined it because I've always wanted to be active and also give back to the community if that was part of it. So obviously it all started literally right before the pandemic. From my job, we all got sent home. I worked from home and I literally had a lot of time in my hands, believe it or not. So
I know we did. It was good and bad.
Exactly. And so I took that opportunity to literally start brainstorming, what I really want to do. Because I always had the mindset of entrepreneurship and I always had that go-getter type of mindset. So I always wanted to do more than just 9 to 5, right? So I was really just brainstorming. I was even talking to my fiance at that time, and I'm just I want to do something with the fitness nutrition aspect of it because of the fact that I know I was already obsessed with the fitness part of working out. I enjoy working out. I love, doing that part of it, but I knew I didn't want to be a personal trainer at that time. So Gotcha. So then I decided to explore more and I was like, you know what? I want to explore more and learn more about nutrition because nutrition is just as valuable as working out, right? And sometimes, we can work out and go to the gym, but if you're not eating the right types of foods, then you're kind of doing a disservice, right, to your body. And
Right.
so I decided to get certified and to learn more about becoming a nutrition coach. And I did my certification. It took me 6 months to get it. And then once I got my certification, obviously, I'm still new to this. I didn't even know where to start on how to build my business, on how to like start helping others. Like,
marketing, yeah, and really, yeah, getting your services out there, right?
so I ended up hiring like a business coach at that time, like a social media business coach. And then
I might need that contact because that's my struggle too, girl.
and so when I hired the business coach, she gave me a lot of insight and advice on how to manage my business online. And that was literally the best couple $100
investment, right? Oh,
so
see, this is the value of having these conversations. Awesome. That is good to
so
know.
once I got that ball rolling, I started now pointing, towards my friends. I'm like, can I use you as a guinea pig, like to be a part of like my program? Because I want to just make sure, I'm doing this correctly. So I had like about 3 girls that were my closest friends, and I was teaching them for free at that time. And I just was literally just learning how to maneuver like my business, like how would my business structure be? And I used them as guinea pigs. And I thanked them 1,000 times for being a part of my program, because my business wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for them, because they gave me the confidence and they gave me the, they basically taught me a lot on how to maneuver the business. And I used that, and I eventually started marketing my business. And next thing you know, I landed my first client, which was like a big deal to me.
Hey, yes.
Once I landed my first client, like my confidence just started growing and growing, especially when you start impacting these clients and you start seeing the progress that they're making by the tools and the service that you've provided to them. Like, that's amazing. And of course, yes, my main thing was about I was against diets because of the fact that diets are not sustainable. They're not sustainable. If you want to live a nice, long, healthy lifestyle, you have to just have a sustainable, diet, right? And I know the word diet can be kind of like, when we think
taboo, like, ooh, like it sounds, you already have like a restriction. Like, you're already like, I can't do it. It's a diet. Like, no, it's like a negative word.
It's not a negative word, because what I'm really big on is macro tracking. And I talk about that a lot within my program and within my Facebook group. Macro tracking is just letting you know that you have to incorporate the 3 main macros, which is protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Like, you got to really be making sure that you have a balance at each meal, that you have those 3, right? And sometimes people don't realize that, you're just eating carbs all day, right? And you're not even eating. And protein is just important. That's how our muscles build, and that's how we get toned. Like, we need protein. So it's like a lot of things that a lot of people are not educated on. And also for me, coming from a Latina background, it was a struggle.
Girl, talk about it. Yes. Our diet is rice, beans. Go ahead, girl.
Exactly. And it's not even only Latina. I mean, African Americans with their soul food, and, it goes on. And we all can pretty much, we all have something in common, that we grew up a certain way culturally, which I'm not saying we got to get away from our foods, because I still love my Spanish beans, rice, but we definitely have to be mindful of how much we're eating it, right? Because too much of it can be bad. And sometimes I feel like it's really hard for most of us to transition into eating healthier, or, being more mindful, because we're so used to of how we used to eat, which we're talking about, maybe you're used to eating that way for like probably your whole life, which is 20 some years or whatever. And then you think that you're going to transition in like 2-3 months in a program. No, that's not real. Right. So it takes time. I know with me, growing up, I didn't like vegetables. I didn't like vegetables at
I
all.
know.
And it was really hard for me to transition to eating, from not eating vegetables to eating vegetables. And when I started eating vegetables, it's like now you're tapping into like the texture. Do you like the texture? Do you like the taste? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to make vegetables as well. Do you like it sauteed? Do you like it in the oven? I can go on and on about that. But a lot of people lack on eating their greens. And I know, especially in the
Right.
Latino, Hispanic culture, and African Americans, sometimes we lack on eating a lot of greens because most of our cuisines, and foods are heavy in carbs. So, right.
Yes.
So,
And we like to season it, which seasoning is good, but we like to add like seasoning with high
exactly.
sodium and stuff like that. And we have to unlearn a lot of behaviors. Like we were always taught, like clean your plate. Don't, if people offer your food, like it's a bad, you know, like habit or not habit or rude to decline. But you're like, but I'm not hungry. So it's like we have to like unlearn some of these like cultural etiquettes that we were taught, but it's really harming us at the
Yeah,
same time.
absolutely. And most of my clients that I coached, it was literally a lot of unlearning. We had to unpack and unlearn first before I had to, before they start their journey, because it would be a disservice if they started their journey and they still didn't unpack those bad habits. Because guess what's going to happen? We can go through this journey, but when we finish this program, you're going to go right back to those bad habits, right? So it's definitely a
Right.
lot of unpacking, and it's all up here too, mental, right? Because sometimes,
Right.
the way we perceive things, the way we see things, I mean, social media, there's so many misconceptions, so much incorrect information about, health and fitness on social media. You got to be careful.
Yeah. There's fad diet. They're like, drink this combination, cayenne pepper, lemon water. Like you'll lose weight in a day or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. I have tried it, but I'm not consistent. Like that's my problem right there. So what services do you offer specifically with your nutritional business?
So
Coaching
with my
business.
nutrition coaching, I pretty much have a group coaching program, and I do have one-on-one. With my group coaching program, I'm actually working on the program, and I most likely will be rolling that program out sometime this year. But with my one-on-one, it's a 12-week program. You work one-on-one with me, and I pretty much have it in a strategic way that we pretty much go on a week by week basis, and you're learning a different module. And it's basically breaking down the modules are pretty much breaking down, with the macronutrients. So you'll learn about why protein is important, why carbohydrates is important, why fats are important. Drinking your water is important. Sleep is important. So these are all the foundational, things. And I'm sure you're probably listening to this. You're like, oh, I could do those things. But when people read and do and go through this in my program, they're like, wow, like I didn't know how important this was. And then at the same time, we set goals on a weekly basis for you to tackle on. I'm real big on small goals and achieving those, small goals first, because sometimes it's hard for us to, like, you could come to me and be like, I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks. And it's like, whoa, let's narrow it down, because now you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself realistically when you say that and you want to do that. And 9 times out of 10, when someone goes to a fad diet where it says, oh, lose this amount of weight in certain amount of time, they'll do it. But then after that program,
they just fall back.
exactly.
Right.
So in my program, we literally narrow it down, and I make it as easy as possible for you to achieve your goals in a sustainable way. And then we just, also break down, the macros. I do the calculations for you. You will track your foods, just to see, how you're eating on a day-to-day basis, how we can improve. So if, let's say, you're tracking your meals, and I'd be like, oh, I think you need to eat a little bit more protein. Now we can, that can be identified as a goal.
Oh, okay. So you're like kind of looking at what they're consuming, and then based on like, the one-on-one, you're adjusting as you see, Like, oh, you're eating. Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me, what's a day to day, like, what's your day to day like, within this program? Like you say you do one-on-one, like, are you prepping? Like how many clients do you take for one-on-ones? And like, how often do you do the group
Yeah.
one?
So with the group one, I do it once a year right now. But with the one-on-one,
Okay.
I normally like to take on, the most I can take on is 4 to 5 clients at a time. And on a day-to-day basis, basically, you'll get assigned the program and you will meet with me once a week up to an hour through Zoom. And once a week in that 1 hour Zoom, we either will go over the module that you're learning that week, or we will pretty much talk about what you've been eating throughout the week and where we can improve. So it's kind of like more like a check-in, and also
Okay.
they take that's an opportunity for the client to ask me any questions, and pretty much, it gives them that open door to like access to me. So they have me there to guide them the best way possible. And yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. I meet with them once a week. And I'm actually, the program, there's also a message they also message me whenever. So if you,
Oh,
so the
okay.
program, you have access to
You're accessible.
much
Okay.
24/7, but if, in that 1 hour Zoom call, I really, take that 1 hour and focus on you and try to see where we can adjust and where we can improve and so forth. So it's only for 12 weeks. I've had a lot of women that wanted to continue because they.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you want repeats. Like, girl, this is going too good. I gotta keep it going.
My longest client, I had her for almost 2 years, and she
Wow.
lost about more than 25 pounds sustainably. And
That's the best
until
part.
this day, it's still off, and she's still following everything that she probably learned in the program. And she thanks me every single day. Not to brag about myself, but all the testimonials are on my website. But it's definitely, this is how it is. And with my program, I try to make it as easy because I understand we all have busy lives. We all have, sometimes we can't get to a program. So my modules are literally like 5-minute reads a day. So you're reading a module and it's only for 5 minutes, and it's like you're reading it, and then you are I also have like a kind of like a journal prompt in there as well. So you're kind of like documenting just little things like, oh, I was able to move my body today. Oh, I was able to incorporate protein in my meal today. Something as small as that you're just journaling. And then people don't realize, like, doing little things like that makes a huge impact, because at the end, when we come together in the Zoom call, we actually go over everything that they wrote, and they're like, oh, wow, like I actually ate protein this whole week, right? So
Right. And you're definitely more conscientious about it. I know, like, for me, 2 things. One, we got to put this plug in. Your planner, your total fitness planner, where it's like you write in like your move, your nourish, your sleep, your thrive. And this was very, very beneficial for me because, like, right here, I was just not in any particular order, but I was just putting in all my meals, like whatever I can think of that was like healthy and I already had in my pantry and available. I was like, okay, this is how I can eat it. So then when I went in there, I just referred to this, and I was like, and then you're also not repeating stuff. So I was like, okay, let me have like carrots over here. I had carrots with cheese, and I know I'll cross that off and I wouldn't eat it again, because that's my issue. Like, I just want to try like new things. Like, I'm not. And I know that's also part of the process. Like, I see like meal prepping is a really good sustainable thing. You don't have to think about it. You have it there. But unfortunately, that does not work for me particularly. But this did. This, just having a list of food options I can pick from, was a good start for me. And I was like, oh, this is so good. So if you want to tell people, like, what was your idea behind this? And because this is available for everybody to purchase, not necessarily like being a part of your program, but they can also have access to the journal. And did this come from the pandemic as well? Or is this something you had prior to the pandemic?
No, this came as during the pandemic. Well, I feel like the pandemic in so many different ways. I feel like I don't know, my inner creativity came out during the pandemic. But no, yeah, the reason why I came out with the planner was because the wellness planner, because I felt that I'm a type of person, I like to write everything down. I'm very old school when it comes to that. And when it came to nutrition coaching, I felt like writing things down, especially for my clients, was very, very helpful. Because yeah, I know that we're kind of like moving towards like a, technology type of, you know,
Right, society, like it's just
exactly.
very digital based, technology based.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes we do need to kind of revert back to like the old school way. And I'm writing things down. It's very like mentally. And if you even look it up, there's studies that when people write things down, they're more able to get things done when they physically see it written down instead of like actually like putting it on your notes on your phone. Right. So, so with the planner, I felt that it would be a great place for you to journal, for you to put if you've done any type of movement, how many times, how many hours you've slept in a night. Like just put everything in there, your body measurements, even a section for you to upload your photos and put a photo in there so you could go before and after. It's all in there. However, right now, the planner is not on sale right now because I am actually actually revamping the planner.
Okay.
So I'm actually revamping and rebranding the planner and making sure, because I did get a lot of feedback from the planner and I wanted to add a few more other features that would be beneficial for others. So I'm actually in the process of revamping the planner. Mm-hmm.
That's exciting news. Well, I will definitely buy it. I'm all about supporting, women, business, small business. I'd rather buy it from, my friend, my sorority sister, my family member than going to like Walmart, Amazon. So I was happy to buy this one. I love it. I actually won another one, one from your Facebook group. Is that still something that's available for people to join, or is that going to be available once you like revamp and everything? Because then that way, they'll be able to have it in the description, when this is available, and hopefully they'll join as well. So is there like a timeline or?
I don't want to give out a timeline, but if you follow me on Instagram, Marisol. It's Marisol. If you follow me, just, I'm always updating my followers on what I'm doing. So it's definitely going to be soon. I can say it definitely will be this year.
Awesome. Sounds
good. Once I have that marketing, I will definitely start inviting more people into the Facebook group.
Sounds good. So, we'll have all her information, in the description for this video. So everybody's still welcome to follow her and just be, in the know of when all these amazing things are dropping. So then, just to kind of like wrap things up, we didn't get to talk about the other vending machine business, but we might have to have you again some other time to talk about that. So what's next? Like, I guess you kind of went into it. So it sounds like the pandemic definitely helped you, creative. Like, so I guess my question was, from start to finish, how long did it take you to you're like, I have this idea, the pandemic hit, I have time. I'm thinking of all these things I want to do. From start to finish, how long did you, can you say it took you to like really implement and get things up and running?
I would say a good year. It took me a good year because when I first started with the idea and I got the certification, I still went into coaching mode, but I was coaching like my friends. Like it wasn't nothing like professional at that time. And then once I started coaching my friends, that's when the idea of the wellness planner came about. So when the wellness planner came about, I had to do research on who was going to help me build this planner. So all that took a lot of time. And, still to this day, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to, grow and rebrand and make my business better so I can service my clients better.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely excited for all that. So I guess on a personal note, only because, like I said, the reason I have this platform and wanted to have these conversations is one, to highlight, at least the people I know in my life, like you, that are doing awesome things in their small, in their business, small business, big business. It's a business, honey. You make, you're making it do. And, for me, like I struggle in the sense that, I have this like, oh, it has to be perfect before I even like put it out there type of situation. Just some of the stuff that's like more like tangible that I'm working on. What kind of advice would you give to someone that struggles in that way? Like at what point that you're like, I'm not waiting for perfect, like I have to do it. Or did you, or you were like, you know what, this is good enough. Let me put it out there. Like what kind of advice would you give to someone like me or other people that struggle with this whole like, wait, it's not time. I'm waiting.
Honestly, in short term, I have someone knocking on my door. Sorry.
Oh, no
in the short term, I'm a.
You want to get that or you want to wait?
No, it's fine.
It's up to you.
Fine.
Okay.
What I want to say is take that risk. Take that risk, because if you don't take that risk and try, then you're gonna beat yourself up. I'm still taking risks to this day, and you got to see what sticks. I could come up with like 20 ideas and I can put everything out and maybe one's going to stick, and you can't be upset about that. So it's just take that risk, do it. And if it doesn't work, guess what? Try to think of another. It seems like you have multiple ideas, right. So that's not going to be your issue of coming up with something else. Because if it doesn't work, guess what? Now try another avenue. So just take the risk, do it.
Like Nike, just do it. And with the whole thing saying Nike, you can find, oh girl, Marisol, can we just drop that real quick? Because you are in the Nike store.
Yes.
Right in Times Square. Mm-hmm. You and your fiance do have pictures up there. So, just recognize the face, because if you're in Times Square, you will see, Marisol's picture up in Times Square in the Nike store. So I just wanted to drop that gem in there as well. So thank you again. I will have Marisol on again, because like I said, she also has another business, which is the vending machine business, that's also super successful. And I've attended her webinar where she talks about how she got that started. But I'll edit that part out. But because we're out of time, we'll come back and we'll have her again. So thank you again for joining Small Business Social Sunday. Marisol, if you want to just drop one more time your website and your social media, where they can find you. And yeah, we'll just end it like that.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at mar.so1. I said L before, but SO1. That's the best way. Just follow me on Instagram, and on my bio, you should have the link to my services, and you can always contact me, Perfect. DM me, ask me any questions. I'm here to help.
All right. Awesome. Thank you again. Have a good day. And again, happy birthday, girl.
Bye.